Welcome back everybody to the I-League Season number 2, the second semi-final of it, Rave versus Invasion Esports in this best of 3 series where Rave, they already have a game 1 advantage, so Invasion, it's up to them, just win or lose and go home, pretty much, that's the only two options for them. But we're HeflaTV, I am Coucher, I am once again joined by HeflaMogman. Do you think we're gonna see a game 3?
I said it in the outro already. Like, Invasion didn't look bad, to be honest. Like, I thought the draft has more potential, but to be honest, like, even though Rave made here and there some questionable decision in the early game, and I don't know, like, I didn't agree with most of the stuff where, like, they decided, for example, to, I don't know, choose a song over a Legion Commander kill and then song and stuff like that. This really put a question mark in my face, but it doesn't really matter in the end because their game plan was not like getting the kill score up or anything like that. It was just rotating towards the tier 1 tower. So Chrissy, you saw it, tier 1 bottom was done. He rotated top, there it was done. In the mid Jo got the tier 1 tower, and then they rotated from lane to lane, getting tier 2 towers, getting the fights. They didn't care about Roshan. Not a single Roshan was contested. The last one, it was like a random ice path thrown in the Rosh pit, but that's pretty much everything that happened around this. They were like, yo guys, you can have all the ages and cheeses and whatnot you want. It doesn't really matter because they never really went for a crazy, I don't know, team fight as such. The only 5-on-5 team fight we saw was in the top lane, and there you saw the disaster Invasion was running into. They got kited to death. Like a Ravage was not even, I don't know, casted because you never got in range to get anyone significant into that Ravage. That pretty much was how Rave planned their game, and I'm looking forward how they're gonna do game number 2 because I know they have a lot of different drafts and they can play different styles. The last one was pretty much objective based Dota with a lot of split push and control over the map. Now that we have a Batrider, it looks more like the direct, let's team fight, let's gank, and then capitalize on it approach.
Well, I would hope so, but well, Invasion first started with a vengeful, a direct counter to the Batrider, of course, but I guess we might see somewhat of a farming game or low anti-mage. At least with him, once he gets like the early items, you might see a little bit more fighting, whereas Naga Siren is pretty much all about split pushing. So it's a little bit more interesting maybe, but Rave, do they just go for some like massive lockdown to deal with the anti-mage, or how would you approach an anti-mage this early in the draft?
To be honest, anti-mage, you can't really approach anti-mage. That's the funny part. He's never in, he's never out. Like Invasion, they say like, yo guys, we're one game behind. We have to go full-time greedy. The Batrider is definitely a nice approach already. I mean, you pick the anti-mage into a Batrider. That's something, of course, that can like disable you. Everything that is silenced, stunned, or like direct like CC as a Batrider and displacement as well is, I guess, a good approach to the anti-mage. Of course, it gets countered by the mere fact of like Manta style at some point on the anti-mage, but of course you can only Manta once. And, well, if they find the right one, then they might still find the initiation on the anti-mage. So far it doesn't look bad for Rave. I think they can still deal with it.
It really depends on how their early to mid game goes, I guess. If anti-mage still gets like power threads and battle fury 15 minutes in, usually anti-mages as such take over the game. And
Yep.
Invasion also banning out the Lycan now, just to kind of ensure that Rave cannot get that crazy good start. With Lycan, Death Prophet and the Jakiro banned out, there's not too much like crazy tower pushing going on, so Invasion, theoretically they should buy enough time for the anti-mage to just be sickeningly farm, be 6 slotted and just kill everything solo.
Yeah, and this is also going to be a Chrissy Batrider, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Chrissy, that's what I like about Rave. They have like a variety of players that are known for specific thing, and like when it comes to initiation and like, I don't know, assessing the current situation, how far can I go in a lane, how risky is it, and yeah, he's very nice on those mobility heroes. You saw it even on a Jakiro with like a Yule Scepter, and of course equipped with the Ice Path and the Blink Dagger. He was so mobile. Like, I mean, sometimes we had 3 heroes chasing him and they just couldn't get him. And on a Batrider, he's even more mobile because automatically in his build will be a 4 stuff involved. So right now we have like him playing around with, I don't know, Firefly going across the entire map without any collision, plus a Blink Dagger, plus a 4 stuff. And that's why I like Chrissy is definitely one of the most aggressive players in the C region, and that's really good for Rave. Like, they have all specific qualities. Jo is really like a split push master, while Chrissy is really the mobility master. And I'm looking forward to this Batrider.
Well, I do have to say Chris is pretty great at split pushing, like we saw last game with Shakira, and
Yeah,
also
that too.
Chris's Nature's Prophet has been rather sick when I've seen them before in MPGL qualifiers.
Yeah.
But Invasion panning out the Terrorblade now as well. Elder Titan taken out by Rave themselves. So if you're Rave, do you go for the Morphling? Are we gonna see just the TI2 era like anti-mage versus Morphling?
I don't know. To be honest, like the last matches I've casted anti-mage versus Morphling, where we had the situation, the anti-mage always won. Um, I don't think it's a good pick into anti-mage, to be honest. Like, really, I just don't think so. But then again, what's good against the anti-mage? I mean, the anti-mage is only good if you can shut him down early, and then with that advantage, you just press forward and finish the game. Even if you're 2 racks down, but the anti-mage is still like split pushing around the map, like forcing like certain fights or forcing you back, then you still have a chance to win. An anti-mage, that's why I'm always saying this, like since the first minute I started casting, like as long as there's an anti-mage on the pitch, the game is never ever over. I've seen too many anti-mage comebacks or anti-mages where the team was like on the brink of destruction and they still somehow won. So I'm looking forward to this. I mean, at the moment they pick Razor instead of a Viper for like a tanky mid-core. I guess that's okay-ish, but let's see. It's not. We don't really have something on Rave we have to counter at the moment. So for Invasion, it's more or less a guessing game because a Veteran, Orc, or Magi, that's like the basis for many standard drafts, and they go again for a Witch Dog. Okay.
I mean, I guess Wood Restoration is always gonna be nice. Gonna be able to sustain a push if they're even gonna go for one. But how much of a pushing can they actually go for? I mean, there's only a handful of heroes that are like semi-good for pushing now that are left. Something like a Dragon Knight mid lane potentially. Up against the Razor though, probably wouldn't have the greatest of times in the mid. So I have no idea what Rave can even pick up. Some range. I guess you can try to go for like Puck, more team fight control. Puck pretty good against anti-mage as well.
Still
with
have
the
a
Wind
Tight
Drift.
Hunter. To be honest, for both teams, the Tight Hunter would be still a nice option here. Like for the Razor, it's more uptime, stealing
But
damage. For the anti-mage,
is
it's
it
nice
Batrider
uptime.
mid then for Rave if they go for Tide?
I don't think Rave is gonna go for it. Rave, they need to be a bit more greedy. But for Invasion, I can see a Tight Hunter. Then again, the Tight Hunter last game was kind of a disappointment, but it wasn't even entirely his fault. It was just the fact that he just never really got into the position and was also holding back on the Ravage quite a lot, I have to say. But yeah, they're gonna go for Omni Knight. That's quite interesting, to be honest, because the Purification combo with, I don't know, I mean, we saw so many like Omni Knight combinations in the last month alone. Even the tier 1 teams picked it up. But right now, what I'm lacking is, well, we have Magic Missile and Anti-Mage blinking towards the target and then Omni Knight Purification for additional damage. But besides that, I don't see too much happening. Let's see. This Omni Knight is going to be in the offlane, I think. And we're going to get another support for the Anti-Mage. That's how I see it at the moment.
One thing they're gonna be able to do is just Razor, once he gets his Aghanim Scepter, he can go stand under the tower, be repelled up by Omni Knight. And unless Rave go for something like a Ricky or somebody who builds Diffusal Blades like regularly, they just can't do anything about it. Also Anti-Mage roaming around freely with the repel. Guardian Angel to defend up against the Death Ward if need be.
Yep.
But Rave,
But the biggest question
just
at
have
the
to win
moment
lanes.
is, yeah, no, even besides the lanes, I'm really looking forward what Rave is gonna pick here as the core, because we have the Void out, we have the Lycan out, like the anti-mage on the other side. Dusa is not an option if you have an anti-mage, unless Rave is really bold or they don't give a crap about game number 2, but there's something you don't do. So what is it? We have I don't know, a Spectre. Terrorblade is banned as well. Legion Command is also nothing you want to go on this game for, even though you could lock down the anti-mage with something. But with the Omni Knight on the other side, as well as a Razor, like a duel is the perfect setup for the enemy team. So definitely something that's not going to happen. They go for Marana, and the really greedy core is going to be on the 5th position. Let's see. But what do you think it is? Like, I'm pretty clueless at the moment. Like,
It can
I
be
can't
something like
imagine.
a Phantom Assassin possibly, I guess. I'm not too
A
sure.
PA?
Although if they send Mirana mid lane, they can even run like a PA aggressive tri lane. Although I would still think it's probably Ogre, Witch Doctor, PA safe then maybe with Patrider off and Mirana mid. But Mirana I
Yeah.
think is gonna be the usual carrier for their team.
Yeah. To be honest, like, yeah, the Mirana being the diffusal carrier against the repel of the Omni Knight, and the PA as the last. Yeah, I can see that. PA as the last pick for Rave. That would make sense. To be honest, I think this PA is right now, from the spectrum of cores we have right now, is the best that could keep up with the anti-mage and a
Well,
Razor.
I guess they can try to go for a Spectre maybe. Just, of course, that would be maybe a little bit too passive. But Spectre also fairly decent with a Diffusal Blade if need be.
Well, the return damage would be quite sick, to be honest, but with the Omni Knight heal and ultimate on the other side, like, it might be that he pops the ultimate and they just gonna focus the Spectre, mana void him, and then barely anything of your dispersion damage was really done to the team. So I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think PA. Spectre would be, I don't know, at the moment it's like a 70 or 80-20 chance. PA is my first choice, Spectre would be my second. But Rave is probably gonna surprise us with something completely different.
I would think so as well. If they want to go really aggressive, I guess you can try to go for a Slark, but it might just not have enough firepower at one point. So
Yeah.
it's just hard, man. Omni Knight makes your draft just so much different. You're thinking about Diffusal Blade, just ways to maybe shut down the Omni Knight before he gets off a single spell. But Rave do go for the
Oh.
Medusa in the end anyway. I think I've seen this once before where a Medusa gets picked after the anti-mage is on the other side. That's just like some massive confidence.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can understand it because the Medusa is harder to gank in the beginning. But overall, if this goes anywhere near late, and I'm talking 30, 35, max 40 minutes plus, I think Invasion got this. Unless they make big mistakes and give Rave too much space and too much kills. But right as this one stands, absolutely a fan of Invasion's draft. I think it's solid. They got enough gank, especially now that the Clockwork was picked up. They can really pick off certain targets, like Witch Dog is easy food, Ogre is easy food, Mirana after the leap, as well as the Dusa even. Like the Dusa on the Clockwork initiating on her, like single target in the Cox plus Purification, maybe say the Plasma Field coming from the Razor or whatever else is there. Like the mana burn of the Anti-Mage, I don't even want to talk about this. So yeah, Invasion, I definitely think this game might be theirs. Just by the draft, but hell no, I don't want to like call a game before it even started. Right now we're just in the mandatory pause, and let's just introduce the players.
So for Invasion on the Radiant side, Shen GG playing the Vengeful Spirit leaving, Kechi Kimba on the anti-mage with ADTR, on that support Omni Knight Ghost playing the Clockwork, and the last one will be FCFC on the Razor.
Yep, and on the other side we have Chrissy on the Batrider, Ninja Boogie playing the Ogre. Oh, never mind. Did you just introduce Rave?
No Invasion.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm stupid. Reading the chat and listening to you is apparently beyond my multitasking capabilities. Either way, I was at Ninja Boogie, right? At the Ogre Magi. Now we have a very surprising pick of Medusa here, like by Jo. Rio is gonna pick up the Marana and cast again on the Witch Dog. So I also love Cast as a support, by the way. He's really devoted into his role. He's throwing his body in front of all the bullets coming towards his team. He's one of those supports really sacrificing for his life for the better cause. But let's see. Like this game, I think they have to sacrifice a lot.
And I'm not too sure, is this an aggressive trident of sorts coming out from Rave trying to shut down the anti-mage? And even if it is this even gonna be a safe lane anti-mage? Although recently, most of the time Kechi Kimba is the safe lane player rather than the mid lane, although he started in mid lane with like Templar Assassins and whatnot. These days it's more FCFC being in the mid, but...
Well, they can definitely swap around. I think it's easy to be flexible on this one. But let's see. I mean, at the moment, I can... The biggest problem I have is at the moment, like the potential into the late game. When I look at the cores, it's really like Dusa versus Anti-Mage, you give Anti-Mage the upper hand. And when it's Mirana versus Razor, I mean, sure, Mirana can transition into a lot of damage, but the problem is she's coming with low armor, low HP pool as such, and it's not growing like as good as it is on the Razor. Razor, like tankiness is way, way higher. Plus, if the team fight composition is right, he's gonna steal tons of damage, making up for the less base damage he has. Still, the Mirana, she needs a lot of farm to actually make a dent into this game here.
I really like... It's like, admin was like, what's the matter? One guy said toilet, one guy said laggy. I was thinking
It's a
about the
laggy
same
toilet.
thing, like which is it then? Rave put Invasion to the spot, it's like, guys, get your story straight. Don't be posing for nothing.
Well, it's definitely interesting. A leggy toilet. I've never seen it. By the way, what I also never seen is the courier on Rave's side. Have a look at this. Make like the thingy view. What is this?
I've seen it. I think I've seen it on Rave probably before, but
But what is it? You're like the Asian expert and manga or whatever that comic style stuff is called. This really looks like something like this.
yeah, but like it may be from something like that, but how the hell should I know what it's actually called? It's
Once,
just
Couch, I
like
thought you know
it's an
something.
enchantress-like creature probably.
But
Enchantress-like
look,
creature.
look, bottom. We have Rio already. Like he's fishing maybe with an arrow. Actually, that arrow on a anti-mage might be interesting if it's a long range. Now we have to. Yeah, the observer ward is giving vision right now. Of course, the game always starts at daytime, so yeah, invasion is going back. They're well aware that there's something happening. Some blinks are coming out here by the Duza, but it's just about, I don't know, warding position. But this was a wrong blink. They expected the observer being here somewhere around the area, but it was not there. So for now, they're just gonna secure the runes. That's pretty much it. By the way, that's also very interesting. Like all the Rave games I've casted, they always start with the first rune, and from there on they start to slack because their emphasis is on different things. But now we have a double damage on cast. They're gonna give it to cast because he's ranged over Ninja Boogie, obviously. And I think with this, we might see something. Nice arrow, double damage on cast, double stun, or triple stun if the arrow lands. That might be worth first blood material.
The double damage on Witch Doctor is definitely scary. 58 base damage, great range, nice attack animation. And looks like we have a sentry kind of wasted from invasion as well. They were expecting the creep camp to be blocked. Which, well, it kind of was and wasn't at the same time. Cast gets stunned by a magic missile, and that's gonna be it with the aggression. Although anti-mage, Ninja Boogie is gonna go for it. Forces out to blink, and that's about it.
Yep, that's about it. So the double damage won't do much in this game. So either way, in the end, we're gonna have a quite interesting one. FZ in the mid already taking quite some damage here. JO playing super aggressive here. He's gonna go for the mana shield as well as the Mystic Snake build. So that should be enough, like, to get some nice harass damage on FZ. And top, that's also quite an interesting one. At the moment, we have the Batrider being like harassed obviously by Cogs, the level 1 Cogs of Clockwork, but over time I think they might do quite well. But what's Ketchik doing here? Like at the moment he's getting quite some harass damage here just by, I don't know, he's turning around, saying hello with some mana burn on cast, but that's pretty much it.
Well, it's really hard for Rave to actually go for a kill on anti-mage, although they can stop or at least slow him from just properly farming. Actually getting an arrow to follow up is going to be extremely hard for them, or at least a long duration arrow. So anti-mage is going to struggle somewhat. His supports unfortunately can't really do too much to help him. But there's another stun arrow, will follow this time around as well. They need a little bit more. Paralyzing Cask is going to come out, but the purification, well, I guess even without the purification probably would have survived. Just because purification level 1 doesn't heal all that much, but
it's quite interesting what he's doing at the moment. Like the whole purpose of going that aggressive was really just, I don't know, buying some, getting some mana off here. Ninja Boogie at the moment, he's getting the mana burn up, and this really hurts, of course, on Ninja Boogie. But then again, the anti-mage is not farming, which is really bad news for him because he should be interested in some CS. But yeah, like he got some mana burn of Ninja Boogie, some mana burn on cast. Like they all spent their spells, and like he's tanky enough to actually survive this just with a stout shield, tangos, a clarity, not a clarity, a salve, and of course the purification. But the overall, I'm not really sure if that's worth it because cast, he has a clarity. Ninja Boogie will just come back from base with decent mana, and then you missed a lot of CS for, I don't know, not really much.
yeah, and Rior has the Ring of Pazzi as well now, so they're gonna have some mana regeneration to work with in the tri lane. If it's even gonna be a tri lane, just because Ninja Boogie rotating around now, gonna pick up an Invis rune, which is gonna get spotted out by, well, really anybody on Invasion if they just looked at it. It did get pinged out as well, so they're aware of the fact. I'm not too sure where he's actually gonna head, or can they even get the kill? If he had level 2, if he had Ignite as well, things would be a lot easier really anywhere he goes.
Oh, he might get the level 2 though. Like if he goes top on range of the creeps, like one creep being killed, that should be his level 2, and then they have an opening on the Clockwork. But the problem is, like as long as he has Cogs up, like that's not really happening. But at the moment, he's gathering Sticky Napalm on it. But I think instead we might have a go here on the bottom lane. Or maybe at least forcing out something on Rior. Maybe the leap, but that's just not enough.
Yeah, and actually Rior, at least before earlier on, I saw him miss quite a lot of last hits as well. So there's only a 3 last hit difference between him and the anti-mage. So anti-mage has had some pretty nice recovery time here. Probably is going to keep on getting better unless Rave really brings back their third hero here, the anti-mage. Only at the anti-mage, what I'm saying, the ogre mage.
Oh, but now I think we finally see something. There's the magic missile here, and they already go on cast. There was the purification heal, there is the repel, but in the end, oh, Katsik, you gotta be careful here. Where's the blink? Never mind, it is our first blood. Like, the cooldown on the blink is just too much, and now we have another arrow in 5 seconds. We have another cast in 7. I don't think this is enough. They can't follow up on the Omni Knight, but Jesus, the Omni Knight also being super low here. So in the end, tri-lane versus dual lane, and the tri-lane loses. This was a very, very weird engagement.
Yeah, look at Rio's item build as well now. Double blades of attack, doesn't even just go for boots first, just wants the maximum amount of physical damage. And of course, when you're up against a repel, it's the smartest choice probably. And just taking advantage of the fact that Ketchik also didn't finish up the foreman shield, just a random stout shield.
And it's also the advantage in lane, because at the moment he's facing 2 melee heroes and a Vengeful Spirit, and like everybody knows, Vengeful Spirit's range is quite limited, so Rio is definitely having the better position with 2 plates of attack. He's getting not just better CS, you already talked about him missing some CS, but he's also getting quite some nice harass damage in there, and that's what I definitely like about it. Like, as soon as he got 450, he's gonna finish this into face boots, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He just got the siege creep, and yeah, we have face boots on him, and with those face boots he can actually chase down a lot of heroes unless they hide behind the tower.
Yeah, especially with the leap as well, although usually you wouldn't want to just aggressively leap, just leave it for the defensive purposes. If need be, if you already have like killed 2 or have killed 1 at least and the others are just solo and escaping, easy leap after them, go for the couple extra right clicks and be done with it.
Yeah.
So,
and he's having quite some damage. I mean, Basilos and face boots, this adds up quite nicely, but we have to see Ninja Boogie at the moment. They completely gave up the idea of like roaming around trying to find some kills in the mid F set. Well, he's driving JO out with a tiny bit, I don't know, damage stolen, but that's pretty much it. In the meantime, however, Ninja Boogie is stacking the jungle here, and he's getting red for even more. So the Duza, she's gonna have quite some flash farm at some point, as soon as Ninja Boogie says like, yo guys, yeah, everything's there, golden experience for everyone.
Oh, mid lane though, Ghost. If he gets the hookshot on the Medusa, should be an easy kill, theoretically at least. And there's the hookshot, it's gonna land, static link is there as well, can't really fight his way out of the cogs, that didn't even try for some reason. Had he eaten the correct cogs and run like towards the bottom rune or something?
Oh, and we also got a kill here. They got the Mirana. That was quite a surprise, but there was just too much burst damage there with the magic missile purification, and of course the anti-mage. That was, yeah, 2 kills here for Invasion, making like a nice move in mid and the bottom lane.
I'm not too sure how much Ogre Match actually stopped the Clockwork from farming or getting levels top lane, but I still feel like his presence in the bottom lane would have been a little bit better than him just stacking up the 1 camp and that's it. If he had like more camp stacked by now, maybe it would have been worth it. Now he's gonna TP back to the bottom lane.
Yep, so showing some more presence here after he stacked the jungle, which is for the Medusa, like showing presence on the lane, making sure that Rio is not dying. I guess that's the best thing to do. But still, like, by the way, what do you say about only having 1,000 viewers on a Rave game? That's quite unusual. Like, where are all the C Dota fans? Like, they're just C Dota fans when it's on D2L.
I can tell you exactly where they are, at Star Ladder.
Yeah, it's Star Ladder, but there's not even C Dota playing on Star Ladder. There's like, what? European teams, but oh!
Arrowed, never mind, purification keeps him alive. That's just the power of the heal.
Yeah, well, he has to chew for so much regeneration here all the time. Like, right now, for example, if there was just a random arrow hitting him, or maybe even a second engagement with Cast being around there and like going for something, he is really having trouble. So the anti-mage at the moment, sure, he finds here and there some CS and he's getting super babysitted, but then Invasion is not getting anything done at the same time. Now Katsik, there's the purification, they're gonna slow him down. Magic Missile will not follow up on anything. This time Rio was really fast on his leap. He's not gonna make that mistake twice, dying again.
Yeah, it's really, I didn't expect him to die the first time as well, but I guess just Magic Missile into like anti-mage blinking next to into purification probably will be enough already, or at least very close to it. Still looking at the last hit numbers, Batrider up to 44, some of them might be jungle creeps, and now he's gonna farm up the stacks that the Ogre created for him. FC, he does find them accuracy. Oh god, 30 HP after the Invis rune.
Whoa, but he has to be careful though, like, if there's the next plasma field up, he will die, but yeah, he's gonna make it out. He knows very well about this call, and we also have the hook shot ready again, so right now I'm just looking for I don't know, any follow-up, like the Razor, for example. As we saw it in mid, we might see it top now here. The Medusa, there's just... Where is it? Like, at the moment, the Clockwork is just faking a tiny bit. I don't know if he knows that the Razor is around. There's no Observer Board, no nothing. It's still... However, it's daytime, but what was that hookshot?
I have no idea. Just next level mind games.
I don't know, like, hookshot into his own creep. Like, that was... strange.
He lets the enemy know that he's not afraid to throw random hookshots.
I guess.
It really is next level. Kechik might be in trouble. Fire Blast comes out. No arrow follow-up. Purification was there as well immediately. Kechik even blinks in aggressively for one right click onto Rior. And, well, he does go for a bottle now. I just wanted to say it's a little bit surprising that he hasn't picked up a bottle yet, but I guess his farm just hasn't been that great. But has a bottle coming out now.
Yeah. And, well, this bottom lane, like, with the Omni Knight and the Anti-Mage combination, they get more and more aggressive all the time. But, of course, the Omni Knight, like, he definitely needs a soaring here in this game. This really feels like a soaring game, because he has to spam Purification all the time. So you really need that mana supply. Arcanes, soaring, like something else, I just can't imagine. But at least they have Arcanes on the Vengeful Spirit, so that's at least taken care of.
Yeah, usually our Vengeful doesn't go for the Arcanes, but... in this case, it's always nice to have just any kind of mana, especially for the Omni Knight, who's really mana intensive otherwise. But oh, the last OFC! He's caught on the high ground. Will it actually be enough for the kill? With the static link dealing so much damage, they can't go for it. But the hookshot lands onto cast Witch Doctor. He's gonna lose his life, but it's gonna be enough to just burn down FC anyway with the help of one paralyzing cask.
Yeah, good trade after all. I mean, the whole thing, Razor for Cast here, already mentioned it, Cast, like, he's eager to throw his life for the greater good. So that's just perfect, to be honest. Like, definitely a good trade for Rave. Oh, but bottom, there might be something here. Rio is in trouble. He has no leap at the moment, so he's turning around. He has a double damage and a bottle, of course. But we have to see at the moment. It looks like, yeah, they want to go for Ninja Boogie. Now they want to turn around. Rio almost back to full HP. There's the Purification, but oh my god, there's the stun on the Omni Knight. He doesn't have any stick charges, no repel, no nothing. Where are the right clicks? Rio has to find it. There's the kill. And also Ketsik in trouble, and that's a double kill then here for Rio. Perfect aligned. Wow, wow, wow. That is really bad news for Invasion.
Yeah, the entire tri lane got wiped. All in all, just 3 of them dying, and Rave, all of the 3 cores, kind of share the first 3 positions in net worth as well. Chrissy doing the best on the Batrider. So that's gonna usually mean a rather fast blink dagger as well, especially if they get this tier 1 down. With a double damage on the R, they should be able to do so. So going extremely well, and this is kind of the early game that Rave need to win this game, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So 3 and 5, we are 11 minutes in. Like, net worth wise, we have at the moment, it's nicely sorted. The first top 3 farmers are Rave. Like, Jo is number 3 at the moment, but like, he's trading 4th and back with Rio. Rio made a huge jump with that fight bottom here, obviously. But yeah, it's still going way well for Rave, and this is even without Jo like doing the crazy farm style. At the moment, he's being super passive because Kachik showed up. He's almost full mana, full HP, but he's still, I don't know, heading back because he doesn't really know what's happening. There are too many people of Invasion missing, and for a good reason, because they're smoking up bottom, and they're heading towards anything they can find, to be honest. A Rio kill right now would be good. If they go north, they're gonna find 3 of Rave, and maybe Rio, I don't know, responding to it might also not be a good thing. They also need vision. That's the biggest thing. They need vision. Otherwise, they have the Mirana ultimate. But oh my god, they found Rio. They have vision on him. The Clockwork is still in the smoke. So in theory, they could still go. But there's the ultimate. They're going to use it because they want to have Kachik top. But he's blinking out. Oh my god, there's the stun. The stun is coming, interrupting the TP. And there's the lasso. Now they need damage. Now they need a ton of damage. Actually, they're going to petrify him. Oh, never mind. They don't even need that, because that's just enough damage. And now, well, we have FZ coming in. Oh, there's the hookshot. Beautiful. Now they got Jo here. He's trying to TP out, but instantly interrupted. So that's a nice core versus core trade at the moment. The rest seems to make it out safely home.
Anti-Mage is just so hard to lock down. It's not like he's tanky at this point. It's just Rave lacking the damage, although thank god the Mystic Snake actually followed him after the blink there and got the kill. In the meantime, Rior trying to just apply enough pressure on the bottom lane to maybe force a couple of rotations back or something. But Anti-Mage, although he's not farmed at all, actually he's super poor compared to the just casual Anti-Mage or usual Anti-Mage. At least Razor still getting quite a lot done. Gonna have his mech fairly soon as well. Which cannot be said for Rave. Are they even gonna have a mech at all on anybody?
Yep, that's a good question actually.
KG gets caught by the arrow. Don't think they're gonna have enough follow-up. Yeah, especially with the purification. Back to full HP almost.
And Ryo has to be careful because there's a mana void, and at the moment he has pretty much 0 mana. So if they actually make initiation on the Mirana, like the mana void at the moment, even a level 1 will do quite some damage. But we have FZ versus Chrissy here, struggling for the rune. The rune is actually gonna go into Chrissy's pocket, but there's, oh my god, the magic missile should do the trick with the last right click, but it's a miss. It's an uphill miss. I can't believe that FZ is missing this opportunity. Plus the stick there as well, dodging the arrow. That was nice move, but now the cask is flying around. Duza ultimate as well. The last two pulling the Vengeful Spirit. She was maybe thinking about getting away, but they're making sure this is not happening. So in the end, Invasion's response way too slow, and that I think that's just a tier 1 tower, capitalizing directly on it.
Just really well done by Rave. Great fight. Nice arrow as well. Although it didn't land, it made it so that the Vengeful and Razor both had to back off by a little bit, which put enough time for Rave to just follow up there. Arrow randomly scouting and not gonna land on anything, but it's sometimes just properly fine if you just throw an arrow out randomly for scouting or just to zone somebody out. And well, Keiichi Kimba now, he has his Ring of Health, gonna have a Perseverance finish soon enough if he wants to, but what's your prediction? What is gonna be the Battle Fury timing for this anti-mage?
Sorry, I was chatting. Like, wait, my prediction for the anti-mage Battle Fury.
Yes.
Well, at the current speed, it's gonna be too late. That's all I'm gonna say. Because right now we are 50 minutes in and they struggled so hard on the lane. Like right now he should have been done with at least having the Claymore or something. But no, it's, I don't know, 22.
Oh, the arrow is flying, but Keiichi Kimba, I have to commend his positioning when farming the camp. He was aware of the possibility of a gank incoming that way.
Well,
so
they ran through sentry wards and observer wards, so he pretty much saw this one coming.
They weren't in the observer ward range earlier.
Oh, right. But still, like, he knows that like if they come, it will be from this direction unless they are smoked.
Yeah,
but even
how,
when
how many players would actually think about that?
The pro ones.
And I think even the pros most of the time just randomly farm, just hit the creeps straight in the face and be done with it. But nicely done. I had that arrow landed, 100% kill. But now Chrissy, he's gonna find Gen GG and Death Ward used for this as well, just to make the kill faster. So, I mean, Lasso for support kill, it's perfectly fine in this situation. It's just gonna make it so that Invasion not gonna continue with the push.
Yeah, and slowly but steadily Rave is taking over this game here. Like, I don't know, objectives are not going down for Invasion. Like, Ketchik is not finding the farm, even though he makes here and there some nice little plays and trying to do the best. But we already talked about it, like his item progression is really slow. And FZ, I don't know, sure, he has the mech, but at the moment there's nothing else. But oh, what a hookshot, like maximum range, but instant 4-stuff, super reaction by Chrissy. And that is another hookshot that is just not worth the try. But that's the best thing about, like, I don't know, countering a clockwork. Like a single 4-stuff is really screwing you over, but at the moment, oh, there's a swap here. Batrider in an awkward position, but what they need is a stun, but the magic missile is not coming out, so 4 people at the moment in a very awkward position. There is the casket flying out, it's pouncing, and yeah, FZ is also being stopped. And while all this is happening, we have Ryo and Ninja Boogie taking care of a tier 2 tower. They're gonna have some rotation in here, and they're gonna leap out of this plasma field, but still, damage is done. And top, they didn't achieve anything. So much effort by Invasion, still no results. But Chrissy, oh Chrissy, what you doing?
That was cutting it extremely close.
Yes, that was very close. That Wave of Terror could have interrupted it, or maybe, I don't know, something. The rocket, for example, the rocket flare disabling the blink dagger, and he would have been screwed.
Well, so 4-9 the kill score. Looking at the graphs as well, 18 minutes in, about a 6k net worth lead, XP. About 4,000. It's not too huge. I mean, Invasion can definitely still come back if the anti-mage can get his Battle Fury and start properly farming up. Just because Rave, their tower push is just a little bit weak. Ryo and Ninja Boogie, they had quite a lot of time at the tier 2, but they didn't even bring it down to half HP properly.
Oh, I like that move. The move they just did. Like, Ryo giving the bottle over to Ninja Boogie. He takes the invisibility rune and Ninja Boogie keeps the charges of the bottle.
Hookshot onto cast. He might go down. Nope. The lasso comes out. He's gonna save cast with the Death Ward as well. Oh, the combination. But the mana void cancels the Death Ward. Stays alive with a magic wand. And Kejik now gonna get cast in return. So
Finally they find something, even though it's just a Witch Doctor, which is sort of a consolidation prize. I mean, Chrissy's still into the game, but yeah, I mean, at least they make it out. First, I thought this was a nice turnaround by Rave, because in the end, the Cox more or less protected even the Witch Dog from, like, getting interrupted on his death ward, so I thought that, wow, what an amazing play. This turned out really, really bad for Invasion, but they get one kill out of it. Still, a lot of effort put into the whole thing, but that's what they need right now. They need progress in the right direction. And I mean, look at Jo. That's the biggest problem. We talked about it. Like, Anti-Mage versus Medusa. Like, on paper, the Anti-Mage is one of the best heroes against Medusa as a core versus core. But he's undisturbed farming at the moment. Like, it's not funny. Like, his net worth compared to the Anti-Mage is already 2k ahead.
well, now that the Battle Fury is finished though, it might change sometime soon. And once the Anti-Mage gets the Manta style finished, Medusa is just, period, not gonna have a great time. Ray, they don't have any like AoE lockdown to just pop a Ravage or something once the Anti-Mage jumps in and prevents him from doing anything to a Medusa. So it's pretty huge that he got it like 19 minutes in. Isn't all that bad considering how bad he was farming at one point. But he just hasn't died for, I think, like 10 minutes by now.
But still, Rave, they're moving forward. Second tower done, actually the third tower done. They already worked on a tier 2 tower by Rio and Ninja Boogie split push, and well, we have to see. I mean, Invasion has quite a okay setup, for example, for Roshan, while Rave is not having the best one, and nobody actually went for example, like a medallion or anything. But I think, again, Rave is not a team that pushes too much emphasis on Roshan, which is quite a surprise, to be honest. But yeah, last game, for example, they didn't give a wet F about it. Like, really, nothing. They didn't care at all, and it seems like this game we're going towards it again, unless they find a decent fight, and then they will say, like, yo guys, it's just not enough to push a tier 2 tower, for example, instead we go for Roshan. That's how it probably turns out. But for now, we have a 4-man smoke, and this is a good one, because we have a lasso initiation. If they find a Clockwork, for example, that's an easy kill. The Clockwork is the one who could stop the whole thing, but now, also, 4-man smoke on the other side, but Rave is not moving. Rave is not moving with their smoke, and that means Rio, yeah, he feels it already, and now he's just TPing out bottom. So Rio is definitely gone, and in the end, both smokes will not have any impact on this game. This is just 100 gold each.
At least Invasion are looking for something at Rave. They were expecting Invasion to push in or something, and just stuck to their tower. I don't know. A little bit weird of a thing to do with a smoke, just because you can be hidden behind the tower even without a smoke. You can be just in the trees. So,
yep, I guess. But let's see. I mean, at the moment, at least they could go for a tier 1 tower and sort of like force a fight. We have the Omni now on level 8, which means we have the ultimate, we have hookshot initiation, repel on one target. I mean, the Anti-Mage is everything but tanky, but sure, he has some mobility. And it seems like Rave, they might be actually willing to give this tower away, or maybe they're gonna circle around. At the moment we have illusions fishing, but no, Rave is gonna go for a trade. They're gonna trade tier 1 for tier 2. But it seems like Invasion, yeah, they're holding back. And we also got a Radiant Courier killed.
So lots of gold for Rave, but still Anti-Mage is farming up all the while. He actually has more farm than the Mirana at this point. And probably gonna have more farm than the Batrider soon enough as well. Link and Sphere done on Medusa at the same time. But they have the smoke ghost, he gets stunned up, no multicast. Will there be proper follow-up? They just pop the Stone Gaze and try to run them down.
Oh, that one is actually bad. This is really bad. I mean, FZ is gonna get some damage here, but in the end, oh my god, nice arrow here on the Vengeful Spirit. She's pretty much out of the fight for this chase here at the moment. Well, FZ is super aggressive, but oh my god, that was a bit too much, my friend. There's a lasso dragging him into the arrow, and well, in the end, he's going down. Now the question is, do we get more? I mean, Ghost, he could hookshot out if he finds a target, an ally target, but nope. Ninja Boogie with his fat ogre as he was blocking it, and
gets arrowed as well.
Oh my god. That Vengeful Spirit, the second arrow in a row, like she really caught both of the arrows.
And now they're even defending or TPing into defense just so that Anti-Mage won't be able to get the tier 1 for himself.
Yeah.
Just, they get a kill on the courier, they get 3 kills on top of that, and they might even get the tier 2, which they will get. So huge win for Rave.
Yeah, and even Duza getting credit. I mean, I was just about to say, hey, the Anti-Mage is catching up to the Duza, because he was only like 900 gold behind in CS, because Rave was sticking together and not doing much in the mid. But now with this, you already said it, 3 heroes, a tier 1 tower plus a courier, Rave is taking again a huge leap. So all of the 3 heroes that were top in net worth of Rave, they are getting back to that position, and the Anti-Mage is back to number 4 in the net worth, and it's just not getting much better. He still However, he has his Yasha done, so he's making some progress. But yeah, I still fear the progress is just too slow.
So that's also a BKB finished on the Batrider now. He can with ease jump in and not really worry about anything. There shouldn't be enough physical damage at this point on invasion to kill him off immediately or anything. He can get swapped back still, even with the BKB being there, so Lasso can at least get cancelled. Other than that though, he's gonna be perfectly fine. Cogs won't do the pushback or anything against him anymore. So it's looking good. Rior also picks up a Miflhammer, I guess, going for a BKB of his own on the Mirana now. And Medusa up to 2.3k gold. What's the next item even? Is it just straight Skadi or Butterfly, or what would you prefer?
To be honest, as long as the anti-mage has like no chance of like making a fast MKB together or something, I would even say the butterfly might be good, because all the other burst of invasion is not high enough to get a Doja down. So the evasion at the moment, I would see it stronger than just plain stats.
I would probably have to agree with you. Arrow will land onto FC as he TPs in. Nothing will come of that arrow, of course, but just a time for extra few right clicks on the tower, I guess. Down to almost quarter of the HP. So Rave, 12 to 5 is the kill score. Graph, whoa, my god, almost a 14k net worth lead. XP, about 12k as well.
Yeah.
So they're looking good. They just have to keep applying pressure to the buildings. Maybe
Well, the
give you a
drafts also
couple
come
points.
because the difference in supports. I mean, the invasion supports at the moment, they're so poor. Like, they're really poor. 2k net worth on an Omni Knight here, 25 minutes in. There's an arrow fishing for something. It's not gonna land anything. They're gonna get the tower. Mirana actually is gonna get the credit here for cast. Well, Forstuff is gonna save his look at it go. But yeah, like, even the Mirana ultimate, maybe this is even a turnaround. This is not even necessarily a retreat. This might be just getting in nice position. For example, for Ketchik, if the Batrider finds him, this is an easy kill. And all he has to do is like a blink of faith. Blink of faith directly towards him, and that might do the trick. But yeah, Chrissy, he was blinking, and the anti-mage is just, yeah, I'm gone. I'm out of here, guys.
If they lost the anti-mage now as well, they would be just so royally screwed. Just because Chio, he is just solo pushing, and he isn't even getting punished for it, just because they kind of need the Clockwork and anti-mage both to be at the same place there. And even then, if they jump in, they just might get stone gazed, and since the tier 1s are still standing on most lanes, or two of the 3 lanes, they can easily just TP in to assist if you're Rave as well. And now a double stack of the enemy ancients also farmed up by the Medusa, but the hookshot comes in now. Beautiful Corks pushing Cheo back, but Maledict into Ghost, Death Ward as well. So screwed. Stone Gaze will just completely petrify FC up. He's gonna go down to the Death Ward. Yes, he is. 80 TR to fall. 3 heroes down, and Ketchik, well, he came close to the fight, but as he arrives, he's like, screw this, I'm not taking part of it.
No, I'm not gonna go for it. In the end, well, the Vengeful Spirit at least makes it out, and Ketchik, like, he can, I don't know, at least continue a bit in the jungle. Undisturbed, but only undisturbed for the fact that Rave is gonna push tier 3. They're gonna go high crown. Or maybe, never mind, I was wrong. They're gonna go and finish the last outer tower here. The tier 2 tower already in progress, while we have Ninja Boogie actually going in the mid and saying hello to the tier 3 tower. That is like, I don't know, the most efficient Ninja Boogie style like ever. He's like, yo guys, split push, Ogre, with my crazy rec-like damage of 85.
It is crazy if you like begin at level 1, it's pretty good for a support, but it doesn't really scale all that well, unless you get damaging items, of course, which is always the case. But Ogre, he's just such a baller. But Manta Style is finished, 27 minutes in, definitely a lot later than you would have expected it to be, or usually you would expect it on an anti-mage. But with this, they have some threat against Ray, but he only has 2 points into mana break as well still.
Yep, definitely, and well, they're on the hunt again. Like, the Lasso just came off cooldown, and that's the biggest problem at the moment. Invasion, wherever they go, like, the fights are looking so bad, and it's also coming down to the repel, for example. If the Witch Dog gets his cast through, like in the last fight, a repel just won't help you. Like, what is a repel against, like, a Death Ward, for example? It's absolutely nothing. FZ, for example, was trying to sort of tanky it, get something done, but in the end he just took too much damage. Well, they go for Roshan, and this is gonna be a horribly slow Roshan. Jo is wow, I mean, he's really taken ages for this, so at least Invasion is gonna get a tier 1 tower for it. It even goes to Ketchik, so some nice gold for him. Manta Style is done. I don't think this is gonna change the game too much, though.
Well, Cheo, Skadi, they're going for a Roshan with this. At least Invasion, they're getting 2 towers for this Roshan, so that's actually a pretty huge trade if they can finish up the tier 2 as well. But Roshan is down now, Aegis picked up on the Medusa. And one thing we didn't even mention is that the Stone Gaze, it actually buffs up the death 4 damage as well. Or at least if you get petrified, you take 100% extra physical damage. So
Yeah.
Razor, he got the full brunt of it, and like you said, Repel doesn't help you out there at all. Guardian Angel would, but Omni Knight, he just doesn't have the mobility items to actually get the properly positioned Guardian Angel at most times.
Yep, I mean, in both games we had a Dusa now, and to be honest, we never had like a hero petrified target. Most of them were actually quite swift in their reaction and turnaround. Like, so far, I haven't seen a petrified target, or maybe just here and there for a short duration where we never had like a follow-up to see. It's really just more of like, yo guys, my ultimate is on, run away. That's how Medusa ultimate works, but it's just fine, because you can use it in such a, I don't know, very diverse fashion. It's there to slow, it's there to just repel heroes, regardless if they have BKB on or nothing. So that's how it works. But still, Rave, with the Aegis now, I don't see how they can stop him. Like, they don't have too crazy counter push. And, well, we have Ketchik still farming with a repel on him. But they can go high ground here, slowly but steadily.
Yeah, with Cheo having the Aegis, it's just... The one thing that they have to avoid though is that Cheo gets completely drained of mana and stands next to somebody while the mana void happens. If they can avoid the mana void from cleaving anybody, and oh, Radiant Courier got sniped again! Chrissy, he found it. He sees Ketchik now as well. He's gonna lasso him completely out of position. Arrow will unfortunately miss. And there's the... Well, no Fire Blast in time. They got the Manta still off.
Oh, Chrissy, that was a small misplay by him. He tried to drag him into the arrow, but he was too slow. He was a tiny, like a centimeter too much north, and in the end it didn't really work out. But they're gonna use the Mirana ultimate, and another arrow is trying to land on anything, but no, it's not gonna go for any. However, the tier 3 tower is down, so they're gonna go for it, and now they try to initiate on maybe even more. There's the swap, they're gonna go in, but they do our ultimate, and now everything is just completely wasted. Now we have finally a petrification target. It is the Razor, but, well, Clockwork, he's the first one to fall, and well, we have a go here on Cass. Cass still somehow alive. Ketchik now has to pay for it. I guess we're gonna see an instant buyback on him. Never mind that, he's actually gonna survive. Now the Batrider is gonna bring him down. Buyback on both Vengeful Spirit and the Anti-Mage. Some more minus armor Wave of Terror coming in. They still work on the Rax. They don't have to fear anything because the Dusa still has the Aegis, and well, they have to somehow re-engage. They have to stop this, but new arrow, again, not finding anything, just securing that nobody's coming for it. So Geo, with all peace of the world, is just gonna finish at range tracks, and after that they go back.
It's ridiculous how much Invasion found from only killing off that one Witch Doctor, gold-wise and XP-wise as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But even then, just 2 buybacks Anti-Mage. He's gonna be just struggling to get that Basher or Monkey King bar or whatever the Javelin is gonna turn into. Plus, Cheo up to 4.8k gold. Looking at the net worths, 20,000 compared to 14 on Anti-Mage. Mjolnir finished on even the Mirana now. Plus 1 Rax ahead. It's pretty much Rave's game to lose at this point.
Yep. This is really... It's really bad news. I mean, we just had a Dusa standing in your base and you can't really do anything. You lose your core, you lose your initiator, and you can't really follow up with anything. You lose 4 people, have to use 2 buybacks. Like, everything is down. And Chrissy, again, invisible here. He has to just find any target. But at the moment, there's no follow-up damage whatsoever. So engaging here is a bad idea. Instead, he's gonna go and pick up another rune. It's an illusion rune that's actually becoming quite in handy when you use it. So it makes it a bit harder for the Vengeful Spirit. But let's see. In the mid, maybe we're gonna see a fight here.
Well, Cheo definitely wants to take one. Oh, can they find the right target? Nope, Manta still activated just before the lasso came out. But the Fire Blast into Shenji. He gets the double multicast as well. Therefore to follow. Ghost will be the next in line. Oh,
beautiful by Chrissy here. Like, he knew the hookshot is coming out, but oh my god, they find the lasso on the Omni Knight as well. This is 3 down. And none of them have a buyback, if I'm not mistaken. Omni Knight is the only one who has it. But oh Jesus, this translates into 1 more Rax.
Well,
even though there's backdoor protection.
Well, Cheo at least doesn't care about tanking it up at all. Losing a little bit of mana, but still has the Aegis for another what?
The top
actually 20 seconds only for the Aegis, so has to be extremely careful about not losing it randomly.
Yeah, he's quite low on mana at the moment, but still, I don't think they can really kill him. Even though, well, the respawns are coming. There's an arrow. Oh my god, beautiful. Multicast here on the Omni Knight. He's still stunned. A super long arrow. BKB on by Rio, but in the end, well, I've said he already has to run. There's a Maledict up on him as well. You don't want to take too much damage right now, but still, he's going for it. But however, the Anti-Mage coming in, getting the Witch Dog cast, but that's pretty much all it is. In the end, they go out, they get 3 kills for Rave. This is a good fight so far. A hookshot on the Doozer, holding him in place, and no H's on him, but look how tanky he is at the moment. Vengeful Spirit, no, he's also doesn't want to participate, but yeah, Ketchik is coming in. Now the mana burn is for reals. JO, man fight. This is absolutely man fight at the moment, but still, JO surrounded by so many people, losing his mega kill here, but they got the range tracks, and top, well, the creeps are already taking care of the base. Still, Invasion making a good strike. Look at this net worth change.
God.
Oh, XP change.
That's probably the biggest one. I've seen like 12k XP changes before as well, but never have I seen such a huge gold change at the same time. Just because usually it's like one team dies, and then has to buy back to get such a fight. But Rave, they misplayed it, they mistimed the ages as well, and now Chrissy might be in some trouble. Gonna get patched up by Ketchik. He's getting a lot of farm all of a sudden for himself. So, Rave, they're not in the clear quite yet. I mean, they're a racks and a half behind, but they only got the range racks mid lane, so it's not that significant. They definitely cannot just start throwing things away. I think had just JO stood his ground a little bit earlier at the racks and gone for the kills there without him running away and the others fighting and dying, things could have still gone better for them, but some of them wanted to fight, some of them wanted to back off, so they maybe felt a little bit too comfortable with their lead.
It was really awkward to see that JO just stood still and he was like, yo guys, come on me, come on me. Like if there was any sort of help, like a stun, like, I don't know, the Witch Dog coming in, or Ignite, Fire Blast with a multicast, he would have gotten like 2 kills or maybe 3 before he dies. That's how tanky he was, even without Aegis and everything. With Aegis, he would have cleaned up the entire team 1-on-5.
Oh, FC might be in trouble. They're gonna get forward. No arrow to land, but TP was already used from FC. He's gonna activate the static link, which might be enough. Leap out from it. Will they have enough follow-up power with the leap movement speed? They will. Another multicast.
Yep, and at the same time we have a little duel, Clockwork versus Batrider, but in the end Batrider, they just kept them busy while, yeah, they sort of got rid of the Razor in the meantime. So 10 and 25, no, 24.
I like chat. Koyuki123. It's not Rave, it's Rave.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost true apart from that one fight that just happened. They are still very much ahead. I mean, looking at the graphs, although it was a huge swing, it is still like a 21,000 net worth lead. XP still a 14k lead as well, so... Well, Rave, they're going for the last set of racks, or last tier 3 at least.
Yep, JR is already in position. Now with a butterfly, that makes it even, I don't know, harder. Like, he's just taking care of the cogs. Now he's gonna go into the tower, but the tower, well, the back to protection will kick in soon because all the creep waves are being pushed out. Ketchik actually going towards high ground on the other side, applying some pressure, and Radiant Courier number 3 being fed.
How the hell is this even possible, man? 3 couriers in a 36-minute game?
I don't know, Invasion,
Where the hell
they
did it
definitely
even
don't
die?
like their courier.
Where the hell did it die, man?
But this comes down to the last fight. If Invasion loses this fight, this is pretty much it. But oh, nice hookshot here, getting to. There's the ultimate of the Omni Knight coming in, and tons of damage. Cass is the first one to die, but he gets his Maledict off at the moment. Still, there's the engagement here on Ninja Boogie. Nice Mana Void, actually doing quite some damage here. Already 2 down, and just a Razor at the moment. They're gonna repel this push. So far, Maledict not doing enough damage, and I don't know if Rave really wants to reinitiate. I think they're gonna go back. So tier 3 is all they got, and a tiny bit worse trade. But still, like, I mean, they get some objective damage done. If every fight is like this, where you get like 1 objective for a tiny bit better, tiny bit worse hero trade, then you still win the game. Because it's not, unfortunately, it's not defense of the leader or the scoreboard, it's defense of the ancients. And Rave definitely know how to get the objectives done.
Yeah, and if you're Invasion at the moment, I think your biggest problem is next Roshan rather. If Medusa gets the next Aegis, this is just going to be 100% Rax push. But now there's also an Abyssal Blade on Anti-Mage, and we saw how much he did to JO, just jumping in, activating Manta style. Now with the Abyssal Blade he can keep him in place, and finally Mirana picks himself up a Diffusal Blade. A rather late one, because I guess they felt it's not necessary since they were owning so hard anyway. Now though, they're actually a little bit worried about the repels, and just most likely Guardian Angel the biggest threat for them, just preventing all the physical damage coming out. So Diffusal will be there finally, they can purge somebody, go for a just kind of guaranteed kill like that.
Yeah.
But, man, Anti-Mage getting rather farmed slowly but surely.
Yeah, with the Abyssal Plate now, he can at least lock down one. I mean, they don't have a recipe against like Rave getting still some objectives done before the whole fight is going down, which means Invasion. The next time they fight, I mean, they're 1 Rex down. They lost both tier 3 towers of the other 2 lanes. The range Rex is already down in the mid, and well, Rave is on the hunt. We have Blink Dagger, and oh my god, they find a Vengeful Spirit here. That's an easy kill, and yeah, they have to retreat. He died so fast. Multicast on both spells. Ninja Boogie, the RNG god here.
Do we have an
This is Roshan.
No.
I mean, there's still a minute, but if they stick around, they might go Roshan and then into the last objectives.
It's like 20 seconds left. They know that it has to respawn soon enough just because it's gonna be the max time soonish.
Yeah.
So
It's
Ninja
like
Boogie
10
probably
seconds
gonna stand
off.
guard.
It's 10 seconds off the maximum timer, isn't it?
Yeah, just about that. So it's going to respawn almost immediately anyway. Kechik trying to split push at the same time. Probably the best choice he can go for. Cast, sell maybe even an Urn of Shadows at this point just to get yourself the Aghanims, or one Paralyzing Cask into a Creep Wave should give him enough just money to finish the Aghanims.
Still, look at the movement on the crafts at the moment, like an experience. They made just almost a 10k swing in experience just with that last fight. I mean, it's not gonna be like game changing because in gold they only get like what damage of like 5,000 gold in Rave's craft, but still, it's quite impressive how far ahead Rave is, which means every time you lose someone, it's quite impressive how much you lose. Kechik, well, he has to really try and split out those lanes. That's what they need, but at the moment, it's really risky what he's doing because the entire lineup will come back from Roshan and try to find something. But Invasion, they want to take matters in their own hands. There's the arrow, oh my god, finds Kechik here, and there's the ultimate of Jo holding everybody in place. Some swaps coming in. Well, the Guardian Angel is gonna try to salvage something, but look at all this damage at the moment. It's a disaster already for Invasion here. This surprise attack, it didn't go well. Kechik, well, he's still trying to fight. He's TPing away. Maledict wasn't on him, but the arrow is gonna land again. The second arrow in one fight, and of course with this, he's going down. So in the end, does he have a buyback? He has. So they can mount the defense, but still, Rave. This was supposed to be a surprise attack by Invasion, but it completely failed. Like, they stood on the high ground waiting for Rave, but they were like, we don't care. Ultimate of the Duza on, and let's just go.
The arrow, of course, as well. It
Yeah.
just went through
Oh, and they have no cliff.
stick. Oh, God.
This is bad news. They have no cliff, which means look at the Duza making so much damage already on that range Rex here, and at the moment they have to initiate before they lose the Rex, but at the moment it looks like they're gonna lose it. Over time, Jo is just coming in. Yeah, he's gonna finish it. That's one line down. And oh my god, they have to initiate, but multicast here on the Razor, and so much damage already before he does anything. There they already go. They want to go on Ninja Boogie, but in the end, oh my god, Kechik, he's gonna get lassoed, and there's the damage. That is real. No buyback on him, and that has to be the GG. Even with FZ buying back, they can't salvage this game. Rave wins 2-0 here in the High League qualifiers, and that puts them into the grand finals of the qualifiers against MVP. Yep.
So
What a game.
that should be kind of a classic matchup, to be honest. Both of the teams, of course, playing in the Korean Dota League as well. So
And both of them are hot. Like, both of them are really on fire at the moment. I mean, Rave, super performance the last month, and also MVP. I was so surprised. Like, I mean, I casted some of the MVP games, and I watched some that were casted by you and Mike and Blackadder. Like, MVP looked really, really good, I have to say. So, Rave versus MVP tomorrow at 12 CET, that is, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, should be. And
It's
for
gonna
you,
be awesome.
Southeast Asian folk, it's at 19 SGT, 19 Singaporean time.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
yeah.
that's gonna be coming up tomorrow. I do believe we have one game at 19 CT on this channel, maybe Moscow 5 International versus Album Sheet, or Moscow 5 International versus somebody, I think, is coming up. So there's like one more game of Dota coming. Yes, Moscow 5 International versus Album Sheet at 19 CT, if we have somebody to cast it, but it's a best of one, a tiebreaker only anyway. But we'll be back tomorrow, like I said already, 12 CET, 19 SGT, with the grand final, Rave versus MVP Phoenix, to see who actually qualifies from the Southeast Asian part. But for now, thanks guys for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed. Greatly appreciated that you came, and if you want to see more, you can follow us on HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter. The links also below the stream. For the casters, at Coucher for me, at Hefla for my co-caster, and just have a good one.